Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. RowPaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
It's time for the Lithia Ford of Boise Postgame Show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view their full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show from Bronco Nation News.
And there it is, Boise State, Coach Andy Avalos hoisting up the championship trophy, the Frisco Bowl champions 2022. Your Boise State Broncos, Scott Matlock getting his chance with the trophy. Jeremiah Dickey on the right there, all the different... And here's Coach Avalos after the game.
What a resilient second half for your team. How proud of you? How proud are you of your men tonight?
We said it the other night at the banquet. We were eating up top there. We admire this group. We love this group. You saw what they're made of tonight. How resilient they are, how coachable they are. They went in the locker room, the coaches got with them. We came out, we started fast, and we finished.
And you finished as the 2022 Frisco Bowl champion. Coach Avalos, congratulations.
There they are, the 2022 Frisco Bowl champions, the Boise State Broncos. As we bring you back here, welcome on in to the press box at Toyota Stadium. We got so much to get to. Let us have your comments, your thoughts. Man, I didn't see this coming. It was a win for Boise State. I was dead wrong. I thought they were going to blow them out. But, man, we got so much to talk about. You had the brawl on the sideline. You had the two coaches getting into it after the game. You got Jordan Kay asking Andy Avalos about it, and Andy Avalos not wanting to answer the question. But, yeah, we will get to that. We've got video of that. We've got highlights. We have interviews. We got Talon Green. Talon Green's going to be on the show for the first time. So we got so much to get to, and Colin Mitchell is working his ass off to get all the video put in. So we'll have video for you here, interviews, highlights, all kinds of stuff. So appreciate Colin for his work behind the scenes. We wanted to get on as soon as we could, but obviously we apologize that it's well after 1 a.m. here in Texas, midnight back in Boise, but they had the trophy presentation. We got some interviews on the field, and then they had the podium with Andy and the players in there. So it just took a while to get things going, but we got up here as soon as we can. I jumped on here, and then Colin's going to continue to put in the interviews and things and feed them into the system, and then we'll get those out to you as soon as we can. So appreciate everybody for checking us out. Again, this is the Lithia Ford of Boise BroncoNationNews.com pregame show or postgame show after a win for Boise State 35-32. Boise State wins it 35-32. We're in the press box here. I'm standing because we have no chairs, so we're going to do this on the fly here. Again, keep getting your comments in. We'll get to those on the screen. And, again, we got all kinds of interviews and post-game reaction and highlights and all kinds of things to get to. What a win for Boise State. It was just one of those games where the first half it wasn't going good. It was 10-6. They're down at the half. The offense finally got going. The 22 points in the third quarter for Boise State, the most they've ever scored in one quarter of a bowl game. So they just got the offense going, and then defensively they had to make some big stops at the end of the game. a couple big-time stops for the defense there in the fourth quarter. They were missing a lot of guys on defense, and guys like Alexander Tubner stepped up. I think he finished with 13 tackles tonight. Zeke Noah, your defensive MVP, he had 6 tackles and an interception and a tackle for loss. DJ Schramm had 11 tackles tonight. Rodney Robinson and Shea Oladipo both had 9. Gabe Hunter had 7, Jackson Cravens 5. So a lot of guys stepped up tonight. And again, you did not have JL Skinner. You did not have Dimitri Washington. You did not have Tyreek Jones. A lot of players were out tonight. You didn't have Keanohi Kaniho. So give it up for the Boise State defense. And again, they gave up some points there. The secondary certainly was tested. But Jalen Clark had the big interception when there was a miscommunication on the route. And then I mentioned Zeke Noah with his interception. And, Boise State finally got the ground game going in the second half. You look at the final numbers, Ashton Genty, 178 rushing yards and a touchdown. And then you had Talon Green also rushing for 119 yards and 2 touchdowns. Boise State rushes for 318 yards. I believe that was a season high. They had the 316 in the 2 games earlier. So 318 is the total rushing yards there. Jared McBride says, I wonder why the North Texas coach was mad at Coach Avalos. We do have the audio of Coach Avalos. We're going to get the clip in there and play that here in a little bit. If you want to get the full celebration in as well, Colin, we'll get to that and some of the other post-game stuff. But we do have Davis Cutter we can play here in a little bit. Looking at the rest of the offensive stats, by the way, James Ferguson Reynolds, he had a punt that wasn't great earlier, but then he had the punt down there to the 5-yard line in the fourth quarter that kind of sealed the game or really helped put them back deep. So hats off to James Ferguson Reynolds for a nice punt there later in the game. You had Latrell Capel, 6 catches for 87 yards. Eric McAllister, 1 for 24, but that was a touchdown. Billy Bowens had a couple catches. You had Ashton Genty, Riley Smith with a catch as well. So the overall offensive numbers, Boise State finished with only 137 passing yards, but they were able to run for 318, as we said. So 455 total yards for Boise State after having only about 150 or so in the first half. So, excuse me. Chase wants the Talon Green interview first. We'll get that in there. Don't worry. That was the longest interview because that also is the podium with Andy Avalos and Zeke Noah. So we will get to that. What'd you guys make of the brawl on the far sideline? That was pretty crazy. No ejections. I was really stunned to see nobody get ejected from the brawl, and that really fired Boise State up. They scored a couple plays after that and really were able to kind of turn the tide there and get the offense going. But you had the brawl on that side of the field, and Logan says if we want to point fingers on the fight, it's the ref's fault. They let the game build to that, allowing the whole unit to surround Talon when he was hit. Get Green off the ground was what Ashley was screaming. It was the brawl was BS. They wouldn't let him get up. It was on the far side of the field, so we had a little bit of a tough time trying to figure out what exactly had happened there. But didn't mind seeing no ejections. Refs could have helped prevent this from getting to that point. It was. It did seem like it was getting a little bit out of hand there. A lot of pushing and shoving. But in the end, we can probably take this off. Actually, now that we're done with the. Hold on a second. Last football credential that I have to wear for, as somebody pointed out here, 200 and where was that here? 256 days, Kurt Blake says, till the Washington game. So how about that? They did actually call the late hit on Talon Green. They did call that. But it was out of bounds, so they called it, I think, unsportsmanlike or something, because he was already standing out of bounds when they did blow the whistle. And then because there were some other ones, it offsets. So my understanding is if you have penalties on both teams for unsportsmanlike after the play, even if one team has 5 and like one team has 2, they just offset. It doesn't, you don't have the difference. So it all came out to where they redid third down. And again, Boise State was able to score a couple plays later and win the game. So number 99, what he did, should he have been eliminated? You could maybe say it was targeting. I didn't get a good look at it. I'm not sure what you guys thought on the targeting call. There was certainly, that was certainly possible. But again, Boise State was able to do enough to get the win, and obviously it was a heck of a second half, and now you have 10 wins. Now you go into the offseason feeling a little better about things. You got 10 wins in the books. You got a bowl victory. Obviously the coaches have signing day here in a couple of days. The team charter is heading back here a little bit later tonight, but overall, to get that 10th win, man, 10-4 feels a whole lot better than 9-5. And so was it the perfect season that everybody wanted? No, you lost to UTEP. You didn't win a Mountain West championship. I mean, there's certainly things to point to, but overall, to get that 10th win and go from 7 to 10 in Andy Avalos' second season, I think you can see that there was clear progress. Man, I mean, hats off to Dirk Cutter. In the first half, people were ripping him, saying that the game plan looked like it was from 4 months ago. And then the second half, he certainly got it going. As we said, I think it was over 300 yards of offense in the second half. So he'll ride off into the sunset. And his son, Davis Cutter, he spoke to the media after the game on the field. Big time. He didn't have a ton of stats in this game. I don't think he had caught a pass, but the 6th-year senior talking about his career, what it means to be at Boise State, and his dad, he gets a little emotional. Here's a little bit with Davis Cutter after the game.
Everybody gets to end their season a winner, and so that's a special feeling. We have a special group of guys in this locker room, and it means the world to end on a high note. Take these guys in the offseason. I'm so excited for what's to come from Boise State. I can't wait to watch, to be a fan. I'm sure I'll be following your guys' tweets and everything real closely, and so, man, I'm just so proud to be a part of it. Grateful.
You've been a leader, but now you're going to hand the program off to guys like Taylor Green and Ashton Genty. What goes through your mind when you see what they did tonight and you think about their futures?
Yeah, I didn't do much handing off. I mean, those guys are special people, and that's where the success comes from. It's people very special, very unselfish that come to work every day, and this is a result. And I just love seeing a smile on everybody's face.
To get this win, you had to overcome a halftime deficit.
Yeah.
What adjustments did you make that kind of opened things up in the second half?
I mean, we were really shooting ourselves in the foot in the first half. We just couldn't finish in the red zone, and then some penalties early to get behind the chain. So just cleaning up and knowing that if we do our jobs with fundamentals, techniques. I mean, we had a couple drops in the first half, me being one of them. So just cleaning some stuff up and playing our brand of football, and we knew we were going to be fine.
Yeah, it seems like you guys thrive in sometimes difficult situations, and a couple plays after a big scuffle, you find the end zone. Is that kind of a testament to you guys' maturity?
Yeah, I mean, you got to protect the quarterback, protect the franchise. So, that fired us up a little bit, and but that's what the brotherhood is all about, is having each other's back, and we showed that after that.
What's this mean for you and your dad to end it this way?
Unbelievable, man. I was pretty mild with you guys about how cool it was because I didn't want to reflect yet, but I'm excited to reflect and sit back and have a drink with him, and man, it was special. It was really cool. Have all these guys be a part of it with my dad, man. I'm a lucky kid. I'm proud. It's great. I'm lucky.
Davis, you transferred here a couple of years ago, and I know this was like a dream opportunity for you. I'm sure it went far from perfect at times, but did you get everything out of playing for Boise State that you had hoped for?
Yeah, I told the guys last night in the offensive meeting, you only get so much football, and the goal at the end, no matter what your career looks like, is to have no regrets. And I'm proud to say I have no regrets. I did everything I could to be the best player I could. Some things didn't go my way, some things did go my way, but I gave it everything I had, and I can be proud with how I ended it.
How do you celebrate? With your pops, how do you celebrate this?
I'm gonna have a few drinks, Jay. I'm 24, so I'm allowed to say that, and I'm no longer a Boise State student athlete, so I can say that double.
What's the drink of choice?
Ooh, I don't know what it is tonight. We'll see. I think anything that gets me feeling good will be the drink of choice tonight.
Anything that gets him feeling good will be the drink of choice tonight, and he deserves it, man. Him and his dad are going to be throwing back some Coors Lights. What a career for Dirk Cutter, and what a college career for Davis Cutter, ending with a win for Boise State in the Frisco Bowl, 35-32. We're loading Alexander Tubner into the system here. We're loading in Andy Avalos, Taylor Green, Zeke Noah in the post-game press conference. We're loading in the trophy presentation, as well as Green and Noah getting their awards as well. We got some highlights. We got a ton of stuff to get to. And before we get to that, I want to thank a couple of our sponsors real quick. And I know what Davis Cutter needs to have. How about a Cutwater canned cocktail? Perfect time for that, Davis. We'll have to hook you up with one. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. Get one at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Spirits, the sponsors of our studio here on the road. We got RowPaint.com, our title sponsor. Very appreciative of them. BNN15 is that promo code. BNN15 is the promo code. You get 15% off the interior painting in your home. Check them out, roepaint.com. Lithia Ford of Boise. You can go online, lithiafordboise.com, check their full inventory of vehicles. You can compare and then shop right there online. You can go in and test drive the one you want and drive it off the lot a couple hours later. It's that simple at Lithia Ford of Boise. Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. You can check them out, the official bank of Bronco Nation News and the Raines family. You go into the store, the branch once to sign up for your account. You never have to go back in. You can do all the mobile e-branch banking with the check deposits and all that right there from your phone or your computer. It's so easy. Do what over 500,000 Idahoans have done and make the switch to ICCU. You will not be disappointed, and I can promise you of that. We got so much more to get to here. I want to tell one more sponsor, TCS Transportation Compliance Service. If you're looking to become a truck driver, look no further than transcompservice.com. If you want a new job, they can help you out every step of the way with the permits and things you need to get out there towing that first load, whether it's the big rig on your screen, the Amazon truck in your neighborhood, you name it. If you're looking for a new job, a lucrative profession, check out transcompservice.com, and they can certainly help you out and get you a new career and get you off to a fresh start. We got a lot of let's see here, vodka Fresca. We got, the Cutwater Long Island. Yes, the Cutwater Long Island would be perfect. Let's see. Just realized Hank Bachmeier never won a bowl game. Chase says we don't speak of that other QB's name around here. Will he get a ring for the bowl game? No, he won't. Let's see. I don't know why he would get a ring. He didn't participate in the game and left the team early. Kurt Blake, Cutwater. Yep. Excited for Bush Hamden next year, but shout out to Dirk Cutter. The man saved our season. He deserves a lot of credit. Davis, GA for wide receiver next year at Boise State. I could maybe see that. Avalos needs to hit the transfer portal, need a wide receiver, cornerback, and edge. They're going to need a lot, actually. They're going to need a lot in the transfer portal. We'll worry about signing day. We'll worry about all that next week. But in the short term, you're certainly going to, in the short term, certainly going to need some players, but ahead of Wednesday's signing day. But right now, you're going to celebrate this win. You'll worry about all of that later next week. The team's certainly going to enjoy this one, and they deserve to. It was quite the celebration on the field, in the locker room, and obviously, they're going to soak this one in. I saw Mike Prater say it on social media, and he might be right. The best 10-win season in Boise State history. I mean, when you think about what Boise State did, how it started 2-2, to be able to finish it the way they did with 10 wins. And I know you won the championship, and the championship, obviously that means something, and they didn't get that, and that stinks, but the way they finished and to get 10 wins and kind of keep the momentum rolling for next season was certainly big. Someone asking here about the attendance. It was listed at 12,211. Seats about 20,000, and it was 12,211. James says maybe 30% full. I'd say half, maybe. There was a little more than that, James, but it obviously wasn't full, wasn't close to full. Both teams were motivated. Good to get a bowl win. It's been a while. I will say this, after the fight, both fan bases really got into the game. The North Texas was firing up their players on the bench. On the Boise State side, they were firing people up as well. So it was quite the scene post-game or during the game when both that was going on. And then it was quite the scene post-game too, when Andy Avalos and Phil Bennett were getting into it. We do have that audio. We'll play that here in a little bit. But let's hear from Alexander Tubner. This dude had 13 tackles. He got robbed of the defensive MVP. I'm okay with Zeke Noah getting it, 6th-year senior, but I voted for Alexander Tubner. The dude had 13 tackles, a half a tackle for loss, a pass breakup. Comes in for J.L. Skinner and takes over and has 13 tackles. I thought Tubner played phenomenal. He was my defensive MVP that we voted on, but it went to Noah. But, again, we got Avalos coming. We got Taylon Green coming, Zeke Noah. We got highlights coming. We got all kinds of stuff. Keep getting your comments in. But let's hear from Alexander Tubner after his 13 tackles tonight.
And we set out with a very specific goal at the beginning of the season, and unfortunately we didn't achieve everything, but this was part of the goal. So to go out and finish it the way we wanted to finish, give these seniors a win on their way out is pretty special.
You had to kind of step up and fill some pretty big shoes again tonight. You always seem ripe for the occasion, though. How much fun did you have tonight?
Man, I just love being out here. I love playing football. And to play with these guys, especially, it's such an awesome group to play with. Some of these guys is the last time I want to play with. And I mean, it's hard to follow up number 0, right? He's a heck of a player. And he's gonna do awesome things here in the future, and I'm excited to watch him. So, yeah.
How long did you know that you're going to be get the chance to start tonight?
I mean, you have ideas throughout the week, and you never fully understand until it comes, you know. But I mean, I knew for sure leading into this game, probably the last couple of days for sure.
Can you walk us through that final defensive stand and how it felt when you guys sealed the win?
Yeah, so, you know, throughout the game, it's kind of just a situation of, like, come on, man, we all got to be on the same page, all on the same page. Well, those last, you know, two drives, like, it's kind of hopefully a preview of what is to come next year, because a lot of those guys are guys who step into new roles. So, yeah, it's just awesome, and we just all kind of gelled finally.
This defense is going to look a lot different next year, man. What do you make about just what you're able to do for these seniors and then the group you have coming back?
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously, you don't know exactly who's coming and staying, but we do know some guys that are for sure not coming back. So it was just awesome to give those guys a W on their way out, get a win, and then we're just kind of back to work starting to come back in January.
You're a guy who's really proud of where he comes from. And you know, playing here tonight, there were a lot of kids from Texas who balled out. How cool was that to see from guys like Ashton and Taylor?
Yeah, I mean, they balled out wherever they've been all season. But, yeah, I mean, I assume it's pretty cool for them, like especially those guys, 2 freshman guys coming back home, and a lot of family, friends here. So I'm happy for them, man. So, you know, yeah, it's just cool for them to get that opportunity.
You know, it took 35 points to win tonight's game or whatever, but when you have Ashton Genty and Taylor Green on the other side, how much confidence does that give you guys as a defense, knowing kind of like you're always in the fight, and then at the end of the game, you just need one stop to finish it?
Yeah, so, I mean, we have an unbelievable amount of faith in our offense. And to watch them go out and, you know, come up big for us in this game, and time and time again when we need them to, and then us be able to step up at the end for them and just play a total team game, you know, it was awesome, man. I can't think of a better way to end the season.
There he is, Alexander Tubner. We appreciate him again. 13 tackles for Alexander Tubner. We're setting a record here, folks. We got record viewership, so thank you to everyone that is watching this. We truly appreciate all of you. This has been a fun ride, a fun season. We're going to keep this show going for a while here. As long as the comments are coming in and we got stuff to do, we're going to keep this thing going. We got Andy Avalos, Taylor Green, Zeke Noah at the podium. We got the full trophy presentation. We got some game highlights. We got a ton of stuff to get to here on the postgame show, so we'll keep this thing going. But first, I want to tell you about BoiseDentistryCo.com. Our dentist, Dr. Miner, does a tremendous job, so make sure you check out BoiseDentistryCo.com if you're looking for a new dentist anywhere in the Treasure Valley. Locations from Caldwell to Mountain Home, everywhere in between. Full family dentistry. You can get more information at BoiseDentistryCo.com. If you're looking to lower your business insurance rate, how about United Commercial Insurance? 229-8222, UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. They can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country, so make sure you check them out. A quick call could save you hundreds of dollars on your business insurance. At United Commercial Insurance, they make business insurance easy. Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com, 13 locations across the state of Idaho. We're very appreciative of the Ridleys. Check them out, Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com, the at-home shopping, the Skip app, the home delivery. They have all the stuff that makes your shopping experience a enjoyable one. So, again, you can find a location near you at shopridleys.com. We're going to keep it going here with all the different things that we have. What do we want to see here? Let's check a couple comments first. We got should have been shared offensive MVP with Genty and Green. Those 2 guys were straight fire tonight. Yeah, they had to give it to one of them. You easily could have done both. Ashton Genty had 178 rushing yards and a touchdown. He averaged 6.4 yards per carry. That was super impressive for Ashton Genty. I don't know what was up with George Halani. He only got 7 carries. I don't know if he tweaked something or if that was the plan to kind of give him an easy workload in his last game and focus on Genty. I really don't know. We weren't able to ask that to Andy. But Chase says Fiesta Bowl next year. Max says next year we'll get a better bowl. I can feel it. Grand Tetons, not trying to get my hopes up, but Genty and Green the next couple of years going to be absolutely terrifying for opposing teams. Yes, and then into the playoff the year after that. Let's see what else we got here. Let's bring in the celebration, the full celebration of the Frisco Bowl. And we'll get to that here in just a second. Halani looked let's see here. Helani looked shaken up on his last carry on the sidelines. Genty was a beast, a bunch of tackles and carried dudes. I don't know what happened, and maybe we'll find out. We got signing day Wednesday, so we do have to talk to Andy Avalos again. But let's see the celebration and after the game. This is the trophy presentation. Offensive MVP, defensive MVP, the trophy. You see the guys kind of dancing, enjoying themselves. This is what happened right after the game.
Congratulations to both teams in the 2022 Frisco Bowl. Great performance by both the University of North Texas and Boise State. But it is the Boise State Broncos who come out on top to win the 2022 Frisco Bowl. The Frisco Bowl trophy. Here to help us do that is Frisco Bowl Executive Director Sean Johnson. Our first trophy goes to a hometown player. Taylor Green, 2 rushing touchdowns, pass for 137 yards, and a touchdown. Offensive MVP honors. How good does it feel to come home and have this performance here tonight?
It feels amazing. I mean, being in Dallas, with my family and friends and old teammates, it means the world to me.
Congratulations. Enjoy this moment, Taylor. Congratulate our defensive MVP, linebacker Ezekiel. What does it mean to you to go out with a win, your 10th victory as a senior at Boise State?
Man, it's everything, man. All the way to God, man, all the time. And I love my brothers, and man, let's get it.
Congratulations. Celebrate this important moment. And finally, to present our 2022 Frisco Bowl trophy. Executive Director Sean Johnson of the Frisco Bowl.
Congratulations, Coach. Great game.
Boise State head coach Andy Avalos, you wanted to come in, finish the season strong, get that 10th win. What a resilient second half for your team. How proud of you? Or how proud are you of your men tonight?
We said it the other night at the banquet. We were eating up top there. We admire this group. We love this group. You saw what they're made of tonight. How resilient they are. How coachable they are. They went in the locker room. The coaches got with them. We came out. We started fast, and we finished.
And you finished as the 2022 Frisco Bowl champion. Coach Avalos, celebrate your team tonight. Congratulations.
And the party is on. Boise State celebrating that Frisco Bowl championship as we bring you back here into the press box at Toyota Stadium. And again, Colin Mitchell working behind the scenes to help get all this footage up and rolling. We were both out there on the field trying to get different stuff. We are uploading as we speak the quote of Andy Avalos talking about what happened with Phil Bennett at midfield. Don't know. Do you have that on camera, on your camera, Colin? Phil Bennett and Andy getting into it. Did you have any footage of that or after the game? Okay. There was a clip on ESPN, but if we show that, then we can't monetize this, so we're not able to show that. So obviously you all saw what happened, and then we'll get that in here shortly. There's some talk in the chat about Taylor Green. Was hoping that they would let Noah help carry the load a little more. Noah had a really nice run, and then they called it back because of a penalty. I thought he had a really nice run, and then they called that back. I wouldn't worry too much about Taylor Green. At one time I thought about that, but hearing what he said tonight after the game about how excited he is for the future and holding up the Boise State standard, I'm not too worried about Taylor Green transferring right now. I think he's excited, and I could prove to be dead wrong on this, but I don't think Taylor Green is rushing off here right now. And again, I could be wrong, but I don't see that. We got, as I said, Andy Avalos, we're loading up. Do want to throw a quick plug in. If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, we'd love to have you. $70 for a 1-year subscription, a one-time fee of $70. That's $1.35 a week. That's all it is. $1.35 a week gets you a full year of coverage, exclusive interviews with recruits, exclusive shows, exclusive content and stories, and you get to enter our contest for a private jet trip to Las Vegas for the basketball game on January 11th. You get 2 tickets to the game and a one-night stay at Circa Resort and Casino. So if you're watching one of our shows for the first time, we'd love to have your support. We got 2 reporters down here getting all this footage and things for you, and that all costs money. So these pre- and post-game shows are free. They're on social media, but a lot of the other stuff we do, and it costs money. So if you're on the fence, we'd love to have you jump in with a subscription and try to win the private jet trip. We got a lot of blue and orange gift cards, a lot of other great giveaways, a Mick Ultra snowboard, a collapsible tailgating wagon from Bud Light. A lot of great stuff, some golf gift cards. So thanks to Ridley's Family Markets, Boucher Real Estate, the Blue and Orange Store, and rowpaint.com. And again, if you're on the fence, hopefully we can convince you. $70, one-time fee, $1.35 a week. And that gets you all the content and the chance to win this trip on the private jet for 2 to the game. So let's go. We got the soundbite coming in here. I want to play some highlights. I want to play the full Andy Avalos. But first, let's play the Avalos quote on Phil Bennett. You guys saw what happened, right? Phil Bennett, after the game, said something to Andy Avalos. Andy started to walk away. They turned around. It was about 15 seconds where they were basically in each other's faces. And major props to Jordan Kay, by the way. He's gotten his fair share of no comments from Andy Avalos this year. Andy, obviously, at times has not been a huge fan of some of his stuff, some of my stuff. It's been a tough go at times for the media with Andy. And certainly Jordan has taken the brunt of that at times from the Idaho Press, where I used to work before I started Bronco Nation News. And I think Jordan does a great job. He's not afraid to ask the tough questions. And he was the one that ponied up to ask Andy Avalos about what happened after the game. And this is how that went down.
Andy, there was a lot going around afterwards on social media and stuff. And there were some tensions during the game. And afterwards, you and Phil were kind of in an argument. What was kind of said there, and where were your frustrations?
You would ask that question. And I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to just say this. I have the utmost respect for Coach Bennett and who he is as a coach and a man. But there's certain things going on in the game that I'm more concerned about our players. And at the end of the game, when the whole team comes together, I can care less about anything else but our players and making sure that we leave that field with class and integrity.
And there's the stare down from Andy Avalos towards Jordan Kay afterwards. But again, I give props to Jordan for asking the question, and I thought it was a question that needed to be asked. I thought it was a fair question when the national TV broadcast shows you and the other coach in each other's faces. I think that's a fair question. Nobody saw it, I guess, on the North Texas side, and nobody asked Phil Bennett about it. I'm pretty sure that Phil Bennett would have answered it based on what he said yesterday, but apparently none of us were in there, and apparently by the time that Phil Bennett was done talking, nobody had asked him about it because they didn't see it, I guess, because they obviously weren't on the field. The media for North Texas weren't on the field during the celebrations. So let's see. Like I said, Phil Bennett is a trash rent-a-coach, and his resume shows it. That's the Grand Tetons. Let's see. Tarlis was a godsend, and Andy's one big hit in the portal. Brutal energy. Tarlis better get some looks from NFL coaches. If he doesn't, they're blind. Yeah, he's probably going to. Must have missed. What did Bennett say yesterday? Oh, he was just great. He was open about everything, was willing to, talk about whatever. And he mentioned a comment about his wife yesterday and how she said she was going to be sleeping with a man next year. And if he wanted to be him, he better retire and come home. Kellen says, very valid question. Was on my entire Twitter feed after the game. Jordan Morales, Jordan Kay not getting a no comment was a miracle. Utmost respect. His players were dirty the entire game. Cheap shot on Green, then wags his finger at Andy during the handshake. Great question. The media is there to ask uncomfortable questions. Agreed. Media has to ask the hard questions. You got to be prepared to answer. And again, props to Jordan K for being willing to ask that question. There, I like Andy. He's a nice guy, and I know he's got a lot going on. But there were multiple times this year where I think a lot of us in the media felt like legitimate questions were asked, and we got either a no comment or a next question for whatever reason. So I know he's got a lot on his plate, and he's certainly got a lot to focus on, and the media is a small part of it. But there were some times this year where Jordan K in particular got some of those no comments, and he was, willing to ask the question tonight. And again, give Jordan props, and he got the answer that he got, which I don't think was very surprising to those of us that know Andy and know Jordan, and that's kind of how it went down. But it is what it is, and he did ask it. But what was said, though, we don't actually know. He didn't say, and he didn't know what was said. I obviously didn't like the fight that was over there on the other side. Andy Avalos gives the press the Harsin treatment. At times it can be a little similar, but again, Andy's got a tough job to do. I appreciate it. I know it's not always, great for everybody, but it is what it is, and it's been a long season for everybody. So I appreciate Andy for making the time when he did, and again, I do appreciate Jordan for asking that question as well. 100% legit question by Jordan. We still got record viewership here. We still have highlights to play. We still have the full press conference. If you guys want to hear from Talon Green, we can hear from Talon Green shortly as well. Do want to tell you about a couple more sponsors. The blueandorangestore.com. Check them out. Free shipping, any order over $40. That's right. Go online, the blueandorangestore.com, and get free shipping on any order over $40. Not too late to get that Christmas gift, that bowl championship shirt, whatever else you'd like to get. And if you want to go in person, they're at the second floor of the Boise Town Square Mall. They can help you out in person, and they're open during normal mall hours, and you can get your stuff right there. Boucher Real Estate, the number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley, is Matt Boucher. We now turn our attention to basketball season with football season underway, and we're going to try to get back to Boise in time for a pregame show for the basketball game tomorrow at 2 o'clock. If we can make that work, and we'll start having the weekly Matt Boucher shows coming up once we hit conference play here in a couple of weeks. BoucherRealEstate.com. No home is too big or too small. Let Matt Boucher take care of you at Boucher Real Estate. I know that the weather's not great. It's cold. It's winter time, but this is not the time to just put your golf clubs away and pick them up in March or April and think you're going to be ready to go. So playtimberstone.com. They got the indoor simulator. They got the TrackMan. Tad Holloway is still doing the lessons out there. They can fit you for some new clubs as well. So now's the time to keep working on that game, and Timberstone Golf Course is ready to help you do that as we get ready to move into the next next season of golf here next spring. So check them out, playtimberstone.com, and we appreciate Kelly and their staff out there as well. Let's take a look at some highlights. These were taken from the press box, so the quality is not great. We were not able to get down the field. Now that Colin Mitchell's a college graduate, we didn't have the great camera for this one, so we're doing cell phone footage here on the highlights. But there is Zeke Noah with the interception. I thought that was a big play in this game when Zeke Noah got the interception, tripped up. I thought he might have a chance to score a touchdown, but he tripped up there, and that was a big play for Zeke Noah in this game. Here's the Boise State sideline coming over. They're getting Zeke. He's celebrating, and then Boise State takes advantage of it. Talon Green. Oh, they didn't call the pass interference here. That was the third down play where they probably could have called it. They didn't. And then you get the field goal from Jonah Dalmas from 24 yards out, and that makes it 3-3 game midway through the early in the second quarter there, I guess. And North Texas came right back. 1 yard run from Ragsdale. They go up 10-3 early in the second quarter. Again, Boise State, did a pretty good job. Only gave up 10 points in the first half, but couldn't score a lot themselves. Nice throw on the run here from Talon Green to Billy. Oh, that was Latrell Caples, number 7. Nice catch for Caples. Boise State still moving the ball here again. Another catch from Caples, but he's unable to get the first down. Boise State has to settle for another field goal from Jonah Dalmas. This one, 37 yards. He bangs it home again, and this makes it 10-6 North Texas with 4:43 to go in the second quarter. Broncos really started to rely on that running game. Ashton Genty, he gets going with a long run here. Genty was really, really impressive in this game. George Halani, I don't think, played after early in the second quarter, so it was pretty much the Ashton Genty show. And then Talon Green started keeping the ball himself. Really nice run here from Talon Green. They both made it over 100 yards for the game, but I really liked what Green did, keeping the ball with his legs. Here's Ashton Genty. Great run to a lot of hurling guys today. Genty did it. Green did it a couple times. He gets down there to the 2 yard line. And then Taylon Green decides to keep it himself here, and he runs it into the end zone. 3-yard run. This was on the first drive of the third quarter. Puts Boise State up 14-10 at this point with 12:40 to go in the third quarter. But North Texas comes right back. Roberts, the 17-yard touchdown pass from Earl on the they switched quarterbacks up and kind of did the fake run pass there, the Tim Tebow play, and it goes for a 17-yard touchdown. North Texas retakes the lead at this point, but Boise State again comes back. Taylon Green, nice pass, finds Latrell Caples, gets down nearly to the 20-yard line, and then Eric McAllister, nice catch and run here. Only catch of the game for the Texas native, Eric McAllister, but it goes for a 24-yard touchdown. Boise State goes up at this point 21-17 with 6:35 to go in the third quarter. But as we said, they kept coming back. Another touchdown pass. This was a 30-yard pass to Shorter. And that made it 24-21. North Texas goes up with 5 minutes and 14 seconds left in the third quarter. Boise State's offense, though, kept it going. Here's Taylon Green, and here's where the fisticuffs and things started. He leaps the guy. He gets pushed out of bounds. Another Boise State player came in, and then things started going crazy. It looked like players throwing punches. You had all kinds of stuff going on the sidelines there, but again, no ejections from the play, and you had flags going everywhere. You had all kinds of stuff, but no ejections. I was a little surprised that there was no ejections on this one, but there was some pushing, there was some shoving, a lot going on. Then they tried firing up the fans. Andy Avalos got the whole Boise State team together when the refs were going after it there and trying to figure out what they were going to call. And so Boise State, though, took advantage. They came right back and were not about to let that play do them in. And there was Taylon Green, 19-yard touchdown run that puts Boise State up 28-24. And that was only a couple plays right after the brouhaha over by the bench. Now Genty kind of puts the game away here. A 1-yard touchdown rush, 12 minutes into the fourth quarter. This made it 35-24, gave Boise State the 2-score lead. You're thinking, okay, they're up 11, everything looks great. By the way, earlier in the game, nice fake extra point. Connor Riddle throwing it for 2 to Hutton, the center. That's pretty cool for those two guys to be able to have that moment in the bowl game and get the 2-point conversion. Saw Kent Riddle and his wife here. That was cool for them to see in their son's last game. But another big broken play. The secondary without some key guys, and North Texas got it going a little bit. And they come down a 5-yard touchdown run here from Ragsdale. Cuts it to a 35-32 game with 8:17 to go. So you got 8 minutes to go. Boise State only up by 3. You had the punt here. Boise State was able to, it looked like he may have touched it. Boise State picked it up. I thought he did touch it. They said the call stands, and they said that North Texas kept the ball, but a couple big stands for Boise State's defense late in the game. Twice they had to punt the ball to North Texas, in the final 5 minutes, and they were able to hang on for the win. I believe this is the 4th down play. Almost picked off. It's incomplete. And that's all she wrote. Boise State celebrating. They're going to jog it off victorious. Zeke Noah for the final time in a Boise State uniform. You see his hands in the air there. Scott Matlock, likely done as a Boise State player as well. And then here's the final knee from Taylon Green. Boise State takes the field in celebration. 35-32, the final score. Boise State takes down North Texas. You see the players celebrating. There's a little, there's some dancing from Genty. And the victorious Boise State Broncos celebrating on the field after they win this one. Again, the final score was 35-32. We got some comments here, and then I want to play the post game with Andy Avalos, and I want you guys to hear from Taylon Green. He touched that punt. I sure thought he did. I really thought that he did, but the the ball's trajectory changes when it touches the returner's shoulder. Yeah, I thought it bounced up, hit his shoulder, and then came off this way. They obviously didn't call that, but I really thought I was on the sidelines there, and it looked like it bounced, hit the shoulder, and then kind of came back up that way. So I certainly saw that and thought that, but obviously wasn't the case. DJ Schramm could come back. Yes, he could. You'll have Hunter Misa taking a bigger role next season as well. Yeah, I mean, you lose a lot of players. You lose some coaches from this team. We'll maybe look ahead to next year's team here in a little bit. But let's hear from Andy Avalos. Let's hear from Taylon Green. Let's hear from Zeke Noah. This is the post-game press conference after your Boise State Broncos win this one. Keep the comments coming. We'll get to them after we play some of the press conference here. 35-32, the final. Here's Andy Avalos and his players after the game.
As you can hear back there, they're having a good time, so I'm not sure when they'll show up.
That's okay. Go ahead and have an opening statement, and we'll open it up to questions.
You know, we just would like to start by saying we're extremely grateful. Like we said all along, we're excited to be here. This experience was really cool, not only from the standpoint that we have a couple guys that grew up right around here. It's always fun for the guys on our team to get to go play at home. But the experience that the Frisco Bowl put on Mr. Hunt and his family, not only the things that they do for this bowl game, for this area, for this sport, but just what they've done for football overall, to be a part of something that him and his family helped put together. This area right here is unbelievable, and again, we're just very grateful to be invited to come here.
Great, congratulations, Coach. Now we'll open it up to questions. Alex has the microphone. If you want to just raise your hand, we'll go right up front here, right in front of you. Just tell us to whom you're addressing the question.
Taylon, that second half, I mean, you really just got things going with your legs, and you combined with Ashton, it was tough to stop. What changed for you in the second half, and how confident were you towards the end?
The message was at halftime, just keep doing what we're doing, but don't stress. Just be comfortable. We've been in this position before, and we already know. We trust the game plan, we trust the coaches. So we're beating ourselves up. We had holdings, we had false starts, and we were just beating ourselves up. So we were just pressing too much. So we just telling ourselves just stay calm and just do what we do.
Andy, it's kind of the same question. What can you say about the second half and what this team did, and also just for guys like Zeke going out with a win like this and seeing them celebrate on the field? What's this mean to you?
That's the most important thing, is just for our players. This is all about our players. When you get into this profession, there's a lot of hours that go into it. There's a lot of sacrifice, and if you ain't doing it for the young men that are involved, then you're going to burn out because you're not doing it for the right reasons. And again, it's so gratifying to be able to see these guys celebrate. It's hard to leave the locker room right now, being around the guys, just because, they deserve this. But like we just told them, there's so many great young men in there. How cool this is, how big of an achievement this is. There's such great young men in there that they're going to do even better things in their life, for the ones that are moving on. And going back to the game, there were things that we knew that we could do better at halftime. We started to do them better late, in the first half there. We won the 2-minute drill, which is always big momentum for us, Cake. So then, we're able to flip around in the locker room and build off that momentum. What are we going to do offensively? We identified some formations. Our offensive staff identified some formation where we can keep leverage on the fronts we were getting, then obviously be able to put Taylon in some positions to take advantage of the space on the perimeter, whether it was with his legs or with his arm, and getting the ball out there. And we defensively, again, we were resilient. We came into the game with not a ton of depth at certain positions due to injury, and it was awesome to see how certain guys stepped up, and Zeke's a big part of that. I mean, he leads that defense. He's right in the middle of it. I don't know. I didn't get to see the final stat sheet, but I think they ran the ball a lot tonight, and he was in the middle of all those fits, and he had a big-time play with that interception, early on in the game.
Over here to the right, please.
Alex Blink, FI360. Zeke, you guys needed, at the end of the game, a couple of stops. They had a couple of possessions opportunities, and you guys bared down. What can you say about the defense stepping up at the end of the game?
Man, we talk about it all year, man. Just being resilient, staying in the fight on the defensive side, man. No matter what the situations go on, good or bad, we always got to stay neutral. And for us to just keep playing our game on the defensive side, because we know when we do that, we can be unstoppable. So.
Steve Helwick, SB Nation. Taylon, early in the third quarter, it seemed like Ashton started to get a few breakaway runs. How do you think that really got your offense going, and you also helped you in the mobility department?
We have a big emphasis on just getting the drive started, on just making positive plays, even though it might be 3 or 4 yards. You know, Ashton and George are really, really talented, and you know when they're doing good, it just makes it a lot easier, and you know, it just gives confidence to O-line, gives confidence to me, and so you know, just getting the drive started, and like I said previously, just being comfortable and just going through my reads and just going through, you know, if it's a zone read, just being comfortable.
Taylor, how do you describe the ride the last 3 months, or, you know, whatever it's been, and just where the season started to where you are now, sitting up here holding the trophy for offensive MVP?
I would say blessed, you know, just blessed to have an amazing team. I love them. I love these guys, especially Zeke, you know. All the leaders just took me in open arms, you know, and just Coach Av and just the coaching staff, just the communication just week by week on what they want, just challenging me each week on what they feel I can get better at. And so that's what I love about this coaching staff. They're just always challenging me on things I can get better at.
J-Test KTVB, Taylon, kind of along those notes, your parents were saying that they recently moved to Frisco. Like, how much did you feel at home tonight? And as crazy as these last 3 months have been, how, like, in an odd way, fitting was it for it to kind of end, like, in front of your family and friends back home?
It's crazy. When we got the news, I was like, wow, you know. When we had practice a couple of days ago, and I was just telling some of the teammates, oh, you see that building right there? I was like, my house is literally right there. And it's just crazy, you know. We're literally like in our backyard. It's just me, Ashton, and Zion, just the people that live in Frisco, and just it's just a blessing just to play in front of friends and family for another time.
Up here in front.
Michael Dixon with the AP. Coach, you obviously were here as Boise built what it became, and now you're here trying to restore that. How much does getting to that 10-win threshold matter for you and the program moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, the standards at Boise State are extremely high, and that's why we're here. Being a part of the early years in building that, when you really think about it, Boise State, hasn't been a Division I program per se as long as maybe some of the traditional powers, but to be able to establish a foundation and the threshold of college football, and to be a part of something like that as a player and as a assistant coach, a coordinator, and to be in the role we're in now, just blessed. I can't say anything more, but to be blessed, to be, to live in Boise, number one, to be a part of that university, and then to be around the people that we get to be around every single day. And what comes with that is the responsibility and the honor to continue to recruit the right young men to come into this program and always keep that at the forefront. The stars and all that stuff don't matter to us. A certain skill set that fits a certain role that we're looking for, but more importantly, the foundation of a young man is what's most important, because that's how this place is built, and it's how it will continue to be built, off hard work, dedication, and commitment to something greater than yourself.
J-Test KTVB, kind of a two-parter. Andy, for you, from the first time you met Zeke Noah to right now.
That was a long time ago.
I know it was. What goes through your mind? But before you answer that, Zeke, how much are you going to miss this?
I just try to soak it all in the last couple of days, weeks. I want to miss it. I want to miss it a lot. Just the program in general, not only the program, the people. People are more important, man. The connections, the bonds we have, we create. throughout the program. You know, not only between the coaches, but the whole staff as well. You know, the people that were around, we always try to make an impact on them, and that's what's fun about it. So,
you know what? It's I could go on and on about this young man right here, from the standpoint of how much he's grown as a person. He always has had an unbelievable heart, and he's so talented too. Like, Zeke can do a lot of things. Zeke will lead the talent show when it comes to singing, playing music, everything. Like, and he's just fun to be around. But I'll just say this: who he's grown to even become as a young man, where he sits today, and where he's at, and where he's going to continue to go, you know, is a lot different than when he was a freshman here. And I always love to remind Coach Danielson of how much Zeke's grown because of who he is right now, not only as a person, but a football player. It's like having another coach out there, him and DJ. And we got great young talent in our program. You know, they need a lot of nurturing and love like Zeke needed. And now he just gives it back, and it's cool to see. You know, we ran up on Leighton the other day, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man, I just started laughing. I was like, Leighton, remember when that was your little brother that you had to take care of? Now he's the big brother in the room taking care of all these little brothers as they're in the linebacker huddle. But no, I remember, I mean, again, it's been a long time. We went down there and, you know, went to Helix and found Zeke down there in San Diego, and instantly knew, like, he's one of the guys we were just talking about a second ago.
Andy, you know, there was a lot going around afterwards on social media and stuff, and there were some tensions during the game, and afterwards you and Phil were kind of in an argument. What was kind of said there, and where were your frustrations?
You would ask that question. And I'm just going to say this. I'm not going to answer your question. I'm going to just say this. I have the utmost respect for Coach Bennett and who he is as a coach and a man. But there's certain things going on in the game that I'm more concerned about our players. And at the end of the game, when the whole team comes together, I can care less about anything else but our players and making sure that we leave that field with class and integrity.
Talon, just you know, how exciting is this to have finished the way you did, and kind of look at what the future of this team and this offense could be moving forward here?
It's a really good feeling, but most importantly, it really wasn't about the future. It was about just ending it off right for the seniors, you know, because they put their blood, sweat, and tears into this program, and just the things they do they're like, we look at them like role models, you know. When they watch film, we're like, oh, we gotta watch film. When they do this, when they do extra, we gotta do extra. Especially in the summer, we're running digs. All the seniors are talking about, like, run an extra one. And we ran the extra one, then they're like, run it again. So they're just role models. So when it's our time, especially in the future, like you said, it's gonna be my responsibility to uphold that standard that Coach Ives said that we have. And, you know, it's just, yeah.
And you mentioned the defense being without some guys. I mean, Alex Tubner had like 13 tackles tonight.
Yeah.
You had some guys. I mean, you weren't just missing guys; you were missing JL and like some key guys. What does it say about your defense? You know, late in the game when you needed to get some stops, and for guys like Jalen Clark and Tubner and these guys that took advantage of the opportunity.
Just so proud of them, man. That's what. Over the course of the year, you know, it's a long season, and to see these guys grow and step up, and you know what BJ did. Some of these guys played their best football of the season last night, tonight, and shoot, I think at halftime I was looking at some numbers, and I think Tubes was already like at 8 or 9 tackles, you know, and had some key pass breakups too, you know, covering some wide receivers that have been really productive. So it was awesome to see JC be able to come up and make a big time play, and then, you know, get the return yards on that interception. There's numerous guys that stepped up, you know, through the course of the last 3 weeks. Scott went from playing D-tackle to playing defensive end because we were light and shoot. Scotty, he's been super impressive, you know, playing as a defensive end as well. You know, Shea Oladipo jumped in because Ty and JL had some ankle things that we just couldn't get them ready to go. And so seeing Tubes and Shea jump in there and play and to see what they were capable of doing is obviously very, very exciting, as we move forward in the future. And again, Rod stepped up. Rod was limited in practice, really, like up till Tuesday or Wednesday. And so for Rod to be mature enough to handle himself and get the mental reps he needed and to be able to then jump in there and the training staff do a really good job, and then Rod ends up having a really, really good game. So when we were talking about this was a big deal to our players and they were excited about it, we don't talk about that stuff through the course of it because we don't want it to be a disadvantage to us, but the things that our players did to prepare for this game, it was pretty cool to see. And to handle, some of these guys haven't been to a bowl game in a while. It's different when you leave and go on the road for 4 or 5 days and the maturity it takes to handle the process and then still have fun in the windows you get. Again, we're just really, really proud of the guys and the staff.
Taylor, excuse me, you've proven that you can climb a pretty steep learning curve over the last few months. Are you excited for a day off maybe? And what are you going to do with a day off?
That's a good question. Yeah, I'm excited for a day off. But, it's just going to reflect on this year and just the crazy year that this has been and just the ups and the downs and, just take everything in and, just learn from everything. That's my biggest thing that was my main thing this year, just learn and grow. So, just got the big win and just take it to the off season and, I still have a lot to grow. And Coach Cutter reminds me all the time. So.
He'll take like 3 days off and then be back on the golf with all these guys around here. He won't be able to sit around long. That's who he is. He'll be sending us videos of him throwing with Ashton and some of these other guys around here soon. You can already see how that's going.
I'll be surprised if Trail.
There he is, Andy Avalos, and we appreciate him and all of the Boise State players there. Big shout out to Craig Lawson, by the way, Sarah Joram, Mike Walsh, everybody in the Boise State Sports Information Department for helping with all the interviews and all the press conference stuff, not just tonight, but all season, but in particular tonight for them helping out and getting all that stuff on the allowing us to have all that on the show. So now the attention turns to next season. Boise State's going to lose J.L. Skinner, Scott Matlock, Ezekiel Noah, Tyreek Jones, Caleb Biggers. As many as 8 starters on defense could be gone from this team moving forward. Don't know about DJ Schramm. Don't know about Dimitri Washington. Don't know about some of these guys. So there's a lot of questions on defense. A lot of guys are going to have to step up. They're probably going to have to hit the transfer portal for some guys on defense. That would be the concern right now because offensively, if you got Taylon Green, Ashton Genty, McAllister, Cobbs, Bowens, maybe Riley Smith, maybe 4 of the 5 offensive linemen back, only losing John Ojukwu. This could be a very special offense next year. There's no doubt about it. So you get Bush Hamden in here to work with this offense and Taylon Green, and it could be a pretty exciting offense next year. So for me, the questions are on defense. How do they shore up some key spots on defense? And that's obviously going to be very important for this team moving forward. Signing day on Wednesday. So I believe they may even have, some final conversations with recruits tomorrow. And then I think that the period goes black until signing day on Wednesday. And then we'll talk to Coach Avalos and some of the coaches on Wednesday. And then everybody will get a little bit of a break for the holidays. No break for Bronco Nation News, though. We're going to be flying out bright and early tomorrow. Colin Mitchell and myself are on the BNN PJ. We might as well throw that in there, Colin. Why not? Given Colin Mitchell gets his first experience on the BNN PJ tomorrow. So we'll be flying back on our private jet thanks to our to be unnamed sponsor for helping us get back tomorrow in time for the basketball game. Boise State basketball, 2 p.m. tomorrow against Oakland. And we'll have a full Lithia, Florida, Boise pregame show starting about 1 o'clock courtside at Extra Mile Arena. And then we'll have the game. Then we'll have the postgame show as well. So full coverage tomorrow. No day off for Bronco Nation News. We'll get about 2 to 3 hours of sleep. and then we're heading back early morning tomorrow to get back in time for that basketball game. So that's what Bronco Nation News does. We're going to get you every home, every road, football, basketball game, no days off. We're going to get back and get you the coverage so you don't miss anything tomorrow with the Oakland game. Then we'll have some recruiting coverage. CJ Tiller, I believe, Monday at 5, right, Colin? Colin Mitchell set that up. We'll be talking to CJ Tiller on Monday and some of the other recruits. Well, that'll be for subscribers of Bronco Nation News online. We'll get those posted. And then we'll have signing day coverage on Wednesday during the day. And then Wednesday night, I'm flying to Santa Clara for the Boise State Santa Clara game on Thursday. So a full busy week here. Just because football season is over in terms of the games doesn't mean that the Bronco Nation News coverage stops. So basketball tomorrow, then football for a couple days with signing day on Wednesday, and then Thursday, Boise State Santa Clara football or Santa Clara basketball before we take a couple days off for Christmas, and then get going right away on the 28th with the conference opener at Nevada. So certainly a lot going on in the Boise State sports world right now, and Bronco Nation News is going to be there every step of the way. Hopefully, another quick plug, hopefully you're going to subscribe. We'd love to have you. $1.35 a week is all it costs. $70 for a full year subscription. We'd love to have you jump in, and if you get to experience the PJ life like me and Colin if you win the grand prize. Trip for 2 on a private jet down to Las Vegas. You get to go to the game, and then you get a free night hotel in Vegas at Circa as well. So this is the grand prize. $70 is all it costs for 1 year. You get all the recruiting interviews. CJ Tiller, the quarterback, if you want to hear him on Monday, that's going to be only for subscribers. So you got to have a subscription to BroncoNationNews.com to see that. A lot of the other recruiting content is going to be subscriber only as well from signing day. So if you want all the recruiting news and everything, the transfer portals we turn towards next season, you got to be a paying subscriber. So renew your subscription or pony up for a new one, $70. It's all it costs, and we'll get that drawing at the end of the month for the private jet ride. We got some other great prizes. As I said, we're giving away a snowboard. We got a cooler. What do we got? A Bud Light portable collapsible wagon for tailgating. We got a lot of Blue and Orange store gift cards, some free rounds of golf, a lot of great prizes that we'll give away next week and on the Fridays leading up to the grand prize giveaway. So jump on in and subscribe. We'd love to have you. We appreciate your support. And it's been a fun ride, but we can't send, 2 reporters down here on these trips and things if we don't have the financial support to pay for it. It was not a cheap trip to send 2 people down here to Texas on short notice. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the coverage. And if you're not a subscriber, hopefully you'll jump in and be one. We would really appreciate that. David, we're wrapping up the show here, but we don't know what the coach exchange was all about. Neither coach talked about it. Phil Bennett was not asked. Andy Avalos kind of blew off the question, so we don't know what it was about. Obviously, probably had something to do with the scuffle, a couple of scuffles that happened during the game. So don't know about that, but we'll maybe see if we can more stuff will leak out about that down the road. But Boise State gets that 10th win, their first bowl win. What is it, 1,827 days, Colin, between wins, and they finally get that bowl win for the first time since 2017. They get to finish a bowl game and play a full game for the first time since 2019. And for all but a couple players, Zeke Noah, Tyreek Jones, and John Ojukwu, they finally get a bowl win on their resume. So they didn't win the championship. It wasn't the perfect season. You lost to UTEP. You fired your OC. Your quarterback transferred. But from where it was to where it is now, you look up and you got 10 wins. You improve from 7 to 10 in year 2 of the Andy Avalos era, and you get that bowl win in the Frisco Bowl to kind of send you off, feeling good about yourselves heading into the offseason. And I think next year, again, got to shore up some spots on defense, but you could have 4 offensive linemen back. You could have most of the skill position players back. I think the offense could be really, really special next year. So a lot to be excited about if you're a Boise State football fan, and certainly this win kind of helps propel you there. So it's been a fun ride, fun season. I really appreciate everybody that's staying up late here at 2:12 in the morning here in Texas, 1:12 back in Boise. All these late night post game shows, and all the short amount of sleep and all the long travel for Colin and I is worth it when we get all the comments from you guys, and we're just having a lot of fun. It's been a great season, and always enjoy seeing you guys and taking pictures with you and yelling down to us from the field and stuff. And so all the comments are always well appreciated, and we thank you guys for staying along. All the Twitter videos you watched, all the questions, all the comments, all the YouTube videos, all the stories we wrote all year, all the back and forth banter, even the folks that disagree with stuff that I say, and we get back and forth with you too. I love it, whether it's positive, negative. We would not have a job. We would not have Bronco Nation News and be able to be here if it wasn't for you guys commenting and watching these videos and subscribing and being there with us. So it's a lot of fun for me and Colin as well. Colin, come wave to everybody and say hi here as we get ready to get off here. Folks are wanting to Kendrick Melville said he's met Colin on the field. He said you're a total class act. So do you have any final words you want to say to the folks here for the season as we wrap it up, Colin?
Yeah, I mean, it was obviously, I guess the start of the season wasn't necessarily what all the fans expected, but the way they turned it around to get to 10 wins, I think even after a game in which they really struggled at points tonight, I think it was good for them to also take, I guess, positives with some negatives in the game going into next season.
There he is, Colin Mitchell. Now a college graduate. He's done at Arizona State. He's a college graduate, and he did a heck of a job. So nice work, Colin. Appreciate you. And again, we still have a lot of work to do. We're going to get all the videos posted to YouTube, and we're going to write a story, and we'll be up for a couple hours here, still sharing out some content. So we were just starting the night here for Bronco Nation News, but we appreciate, again, all of you guys. Couldn't do it without you. Couldn't have a website. Couldn't have these shows if we didn't have the comments and everybody watching them. So been a hell of a ride. 10 wins, and it's been a fun season. So we'll wrap it up. But basketball season is just getting going, and I think it's going to be another fun ride with the Broncos on the hardwood as well. So we'll talk to you from Extra Mile Arena, 1 o'clock tomorrow as Boise State gets set to play Oakland, looking for their 9th straight win. Should be a lot of fun, the Boise State basketball team. So we'll follow them the next couple of months. We'll have signing day. We'll have spring ball, and we'll get ready to do it all over again next year. So we will leave you with the trophy presentation. Some of you may have seen this at the beginning, kind of our one shining moment, I guess, to wrap up the broadcast here. We don't have the music or the ball, tipping, but for those of you that came in late, we will just end the post-game show here with the trophy presentation. And we'll show you the offensive MVP, the defensive MVP, and then the players celebrating, the fireworks going off, and then we will just fade to black, so to speak, and end the show there. So thanks again. Really appreciate you. If you're one of the folks watching on Twitter, switch over to YouTube and then subscribe to our channel, because YouTube's the best way that we can monetize this and know how many people are watching it. So I see there's some of you watching on Twitter. Flip over to YouTube and go ahead and watch the video there. We would appreciate it. So again, been a great season. Appreciate everybody for all your support, but got a lot more. We'll still have the daily coverage coming, and obviously basketball is going to be a fun ride the next couple of months as well. So we will talk to you in, believe it or not, less than 12 hours from Extra Mile Arena. It's 1 a.m. right now back in Boise, 1:15. Colin Mitchell just rolled his eyes in disbelief that we'll be in Boise on the air in less than 12 hours. I'm giving Colin the day off tomorrow. I will be on the air tomorrow, but Colin gets the day off, a hard-earned week of work for Colin, and he gets the day off tomorrow. But I'll be live from Extra Mile Arena in about 11 and a half hours with the pregame show. So make sure you tune in tomorrow. Maybe we'll replay some of the football stuff again and kind of have a combo of football, basketball pregame show about 1 o'clock Mountain Time tomorrow from Extra Mile Arena. So appreciate everybody for all the comments. And again, we will leave you with the postgame celebration and the trophy. We'll talk to you from Extra Mile Arena tomorrow at 1. Again, the final score 35-32. Boise State takes down North Texas and wins the Frisco Bowl. Enjoy this one, Boise State fans. You deserve it. And have a good night. We'll talk to you tomorrow back in Boise.
The Frisco Bowl trophy. Here to help us do that is Frisco Bowl Executive Director Sean Johnson. Our first trophy goes to a hometown player, Taylor Green. 2 rushing touchdowns, pass for 137 yards, and a touchdown. Offensive MVP honors. How good does it feel to come home and have this performance here tonight?
It feels amazing. I mean, being in Dallas, with my family and friends and old teammates, it means the world to me.
Congratulations. Enjoy this moment, Taylor. go out with a win, your 10th victory as a senior at Boise State?
Man, it's everything, man. All the way to proud, man, all the time. And I love my brothers, so, man, let's get it.
Congratulations. Celebrate this important moment. And finally, to present our 2022 Frisco Bowl trophy, Executive Director Sean Johnson of the Frisco Bowl.
Congratulations, coach. Great game.
Boise State head coach Andy Avalos, you wanted to come in, finish the season strong, get that 10th win. What a resilient second half for your team. How proud of you? Or how proud are you of your men tonight?
We said it the other night at the banquet. We were eating up top there. We admire this group. We love this group. You saw what they're made of tonight. How resilient they are, how coachable they are. They went in the locker room, the coaches got with them. We came out, we started fast, and we finished.
And you finished as the 2022 Frisco Bowl champion. Coach Avalos, celebrate with your team.